Today is being regarded as Father's Day, and I don't know why it is not called the Dad's Day. Looking at the dictionary, they will describe the word dad, or daddy, or papa, or pop, popsy, etc., as a way of as an alternative way, childish way of calling your father dad. But since the dictionary was actually a compendium of ideologies from various individuals who are regarded as being impeccable when it comes into translation of words, I think by the very special mercy of God, I also as a human being, I have or reserve the right to also express my own perspective or perception of the word dad and father. Everybody can be regarded as a dad. People call you daddy, dad, either in the church, in the school, on the street, everywhere. Everyone to whom you are a little bit, who you are a little bit older than, they call you daddy, and that's not a crime. You are everybody's daddy. However, people outside, they call you so person's father. It is expected of a father to carry a certain degree of impact or influence on the person that is regarded as their own child or children. So, may I say that today is Father's Day and not Daddy's Day? I want to cause a stir there. That is actually, to me, an intimate, contemporary, social, lighter title, only associated with age, respect, or relationship, but not necessarily of commitment. And you may be committed to a certain level, helping to pay school fees, helping to do certain things since you have a need of somebody in your life, a figure. But somebody who stands a father figure, one who can sacrifice, one who can go extra length, who can pay price, who can confront you or do things to shapen your life. So I regard such as a father. When Jesus was teaching us to pray, he says we should say, Our Father. I know that the grammar then, Elizabethan grammar may be different. It doesn't say Papa or Popsy or Dad. The word Abba means father. Abba, Ab. That is why in Hebrew, words like Abner, Abigail, Abraham, Abijam, Abijah, Absalom, everything Ab or Abba means father of something. Go and check it out and go and check the meaning of all names you know in the Bible that begins with Abba or Abi. You will notice that they have to do with father of something. Father does this, father does that. So, are you just a dad? It's just a fad. Calling people who just calling you dad does not mean you are a responsible father. To be called a father is deeper. It has to do with fathering. It has to do with taking certain risk and responsibility over a particular life. If you are not, then you are not part of today's celebration. Yeah, continue to be a dad, but our Father. God is the Father of all fathers. He is the Father who is in heaven, and we are the fathers on earth. So I'm going to tell you 7 different kinds of fathers, but for now, let it suffice us. Are you a father or just a dad? Thank God for being a father. Yeah, may I tell you that it's not every daddy that is actually qualified to be called a father. Like I said earlier on, father actually means a source, a fountain, an origin, the beginning, where something actually emanates from. And there are different kinds of father. I haven't spoken about who a father is. Depending on the kind of fathering, we can say there are 7 kinds of fatherings by my own classification. Others may have their own unique ways of classifying things, but by me, there are 7 ways. The very first kind of father I know I call them absentee fathering or absentee fathers. These are people who are so much concerned about, the kind of impression we've been given is money is what makes a man a man. So they go for it full-fledged. They labor in the daytime and the nighttime, in the frost and in the sun. They are laboring. They get the money, but they are not there for the children. They truly build houses or house. They make life comfortable for the wife and for the children, but they are not actually on ground. They are hardly seen. Their voice is hardly heard, and their lives hardly noticeable or seen as an example for the children to be able to follow after. What we notice is that later in life, this kind of fathers will now begin to talk about their fathering system, that I labored, I did my all, I sacrificed my everything to make sure that life was convenient and comfortable for you, but see what they have paid me with. They were never there, even though the family was feeling the impact of their finances. Yes, these are absentee fathers, and the method is referred to as absentee fathering. The second one, I call it surrogate fathering. These are people who, by virtue of access to resources or power, they are able to father many, in quote. They pay people's school fees. They can even pay side chicks' child's school fees, build houses for others, do a lot of great things. They are so much respected by some, even do things for the poor. But their own family never felt the impact of their goodness. They shout, they do not respect the personality of their wives. They make their children secondary or even tertiary in their order of priorities, and they feel that is the best way of life, and they keep living like that. But later in life, they will realize their mistakes. But I am saying this so that those who are in such class of fathering may realize that they're actually getting it wrong. And the third category of fathering, I call it selfish fathering. These people are so focused on themselves. There is this Yoruba slogan that says, "Komotu jogun matije ogbon." They focus on their own conveniences, on their own comfort, on their own satisfaction, not quite minding how it goes with the children, with the family, with the wife. We have a father like that in the Bible. Hezekiah was a very wonderful man, but at a particular period in his life, he had an option to choose between a future that is golden, that is glorious for the children, but he chose to actually seek his own convenience, comfort, satisfaction. Do you know that instead of pleading with God concerning his posterity, instead of crying unto God and begging for forgiveness, knowing fully well that our God is merciful and that he will actually pardon, this king felt that, having made a mistake, which will have a telling effect on the yet unborn generations of his to come. He was told of the implication of his actions. You know what he said? He said, that is okay. God is great. That is good. As long as it doesn't affect me. And I have a comfort and it is peace in my own time. So that was how he sold out his future and that of his children to what do you call them now? People from Babylon, to the Babylonians and the Chaldeans. And that is quite unfortunate. So we have such fathers. We call them selfish fathers or selfish fathering. We have the foolish fathers. This one, they have children that call them daddy. You see them drunken, you see them fighting. They are never responsible. They will not send their children to school. They won't pay school fees, everything. Go and meet your mother. Kilo komi. Loba ya. She'll let it run me no school ni. They choose not to take responsibility over anybody. They just feel that whatsoever they have, I eat. Then if you disturb them too much, they go after another woman. You know, there are a lot of women there who are ready to pay, to even pay you, to even take care of you, feed you, do everything. All they need is just bearing your name. Their title, Mrs., is named after you. And so, since there are such freelance, in the street, they go for such sexual apparatus. And by the time they do it, they have children and they never care. If they are told, I'm pregnant, they say, congratulations. So you know me, I don't have time for any child and I do not think I can, but since you can take care, no problems, go ahead. They may have 4, 5, 6, 7 women who gave birth to them, but they are never responsible to any of the children. And at old age, they will now begin to claim rights, assert authority, and they feel that being my child, I have, this right over you. You ought to take care of me. Then we have a sacrificial father. This is the first stage of committed fatherhood, or fathering. These ones, they may not have what it takes, either economically, but they invest everything within their capacity, within their endowment, within their reach, to make sure that they make their children what they feel God wants them to make of the children. They try as much as possible to put the children in school, even if it is the cheapest school. They may not be able to buy uniforms more than once or twice before the child graduates, but they are struggling. The children see that daddy is trying his best. They are sacrificial in the sense of making sacrifices. Such fathers, kudos to you. You are one of those for whom today is meant. You are celebrated. The second or the sixth category of fathers, I call them the purposeful fathers. These are people who are fathering with purpose. They know, just like the father of Samson was told what he was going to become. They know the manual of God for each child. And they are so committed. They sit on these children, not just making them or molding them academically, morally. They are also making them for the purpose for which they perceive God has sent these children to their lives. They do not just see a child who is going to repay me, feed me in future, but they are really equipping this child and making this child for God, because they know that God has a purpose over his life, just as the father of John the Baptist, the father of Jesus Christ, Joseph, all of them, they know that there is a purpose, there is a reason for which this fellow was sent, and they are ready to really do everything within their knowledge and capacity to make sure that they make this vessel of this particular child who had been sent to them. They see themselves not just as anything but a discipler, somebody whom God, an instrument of God to make those lives. Then we have the Abrahamic fathering. These ones are not just narrow-minded. They carry people. They carry not just their biological father, our children. They carry, everyone is their own child. They take responsibility over everybody. What they do to their own children, they do it to other people's children. They make sure that they are ready to pay similar price, not just for their own children, biological children, even those whom God has brought across their path. Maybe as a teacher, they know the principle, what we call in loco parentis. They take over parental responsibility over all the children under their responsibility. They are ready not just to not just to pay the price, but they are also ready to go out of their ways to make sure that that child, if possible, they inherit his, load or weight of problems. They go with them into challenges of life to make sure that what becomes of my children are. So they are not just Abram, but Abraham, the father of all.